Hey, welcome to Classic Guitar Rock. I've been doing the updates regularly, but haven't been putting up much content other than the daily updates and the podcast stuff. Let me first put out a plug for the Classic Guitar Rock radio station. Go to classicguitarrock.com. You'll find a link there for the radio station and the podcast. And I see people doing these videos, and I thought, well, I'm going to jump in on this action too. I'll see if anyone watches them. I'm coming up with the top 10 list. Not trying to be negative. Who am I kidding? Yeah, I'm trying to be negative. It's the top 10 most overrated rock bands. Now, this is based on scientific analysis, a lot of research no, it's not. It's just my opinion. Okay. So if you disagree, I'd love to hear your comments. If you want to fight in the parking lot, send me a message. I'll send you my address, whatever. We can do that. But again, this is my opinion. Top 10 most overrated bands. Now, I'm not saying that I hate these bands, so don't confuse that. By the way, I'm going to follow this up with top 10 underrated bands. These are just bands that I think they aren't as good as people think they are. That's all this is about. We can still be friends. But these are bands that I just don't think they're as good as people tend to think they are. And as we get closer to the top, my level of astonishment increases, right? I'm more shocked that they're as popular as they are, right? So in other words, the band that's number one on this list is the band that I just scratch my head and I think, why are these guys as popular as they are? Okay. It doesn't mean I hate them. Some of them I do, but for the most part, I don't hate any of these. I don't hate anyone. Okay. I love everyone. But when a band sucks, I feel it's my responsibility as a journalist to point that out. So that's what this is all about. I'm having a bad hair day too, but oh well. Okay. So let's jump right in. Again, Jeremy's top 10 list of the most overrated rock bands. A long time ago, like 10 years ago, I did a dumb, terrible video on 5 overrated classic rock artists. I've got a lot of heat over the years for that. I'm not going to apologize. But this band actually is on that list of 5. And I'm going to flat out say, I love this band, but they're very overrated. And I think you'll agree when I say, coming in at number 10 on the top 10 most overrated rock bands is Kiss. We love the spectacle. We love the explosions. We love the makeup. We love the spitting of the blood. We love the... I think I just swallowed a bug. We love all that, right? Let me take a drink. I literally think I just swallowed a fly. I washed it down though. Okay. I mean, what's not to like about the spectacle we call Kiss? Other than, well, their music sucked. Other than that, they're great. Music, not that great. So they come in at number 10 on my list. Coming in at number 9. I'm afraid to even say this because people love this band. I just think they're overrated. And they've just announced they're done touring. It's Aerosmith. Just never been a huge fan. Toys in the Attic, I think, is a great album. They've got some great songs. Don't get me wrong. But I think they're overrated. I try to like them. And it's hard for me to really be a hardcore fan. Because they're just not, I don't know what it is. I can't say they're not good musicians because I think they are. I think they're overrated. They don't do it for me. Sorry. They don't do it for me. Coming in at, where are we at now? Number 7. Oh, people are going to get all upset about this. And number, this is number 8. Sorry. Coming in at number 8 and number 7. I kind of lumped these in together, that they just kind of fell out that way. But as I analyze it, there's some similarities as to why they both annoy me. So coming in at number 8, Genesis. Yeah. And don't tell me about the Peter Gabriel Genesis, because that's worse than the Phil Collins Genesis. I try to like them. Wind and Wuthering, actually, I like that album. But you go and try and listen to, I dare you, sit through an entire Genesis album. Sit through a live performance of Genesis from the 70s. Holy crap. Steve Hackett sat down. What does that say about a band where the lead guitarist sits down the whole time? Dude, come on. Genesis, not bad, just overrated. And this will really piss people off. The Genesis stuff I like the best is the after they sold out. Turn It On Again. Misunderstanding. I mean, I like that Genesis stuff better than the old weird. What about Pete? Is anyone going to talk about Peter Gabriel's reverse mohawk thing? What is that all about? Shave down the middle of he was weird. Sorry. It's weird. Yeah, that stuff was weird. Overrated. And that brings me to number 7. Another band that features a lead guitarist who sits down. What is the deal? I'm talking King Crimson. I defy, I dare, I challenge anyone to sit through an entire King Crimson performance. They've been described, and I think this is a perfect explanation. King Crimson is good musicians playing bad music. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're all phenomenal musicians. It just goes to show you that phenomenal musicians can play crappy music. And that's kind of what King Crimson is. Sorry, someone had to say it. Next band. So I think this is number 6. I'm going to really piss people off. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Overrated. Sorry. They just are. They're just kind of overrated. Again, they have some good songs. I don't hate them. I would say I really like a few of their songs, but I just can't get into them. There are so many Southern rock bands that are so much better, like Molly Hatchet. Much prefer Molly Hatchet or the Allman Brothers or the Outlaws or Marshall Tucker or Charlie Dan. I like all of those bands better than Lynyrd Skynyrd. I just think they're overrated. Of course, there is a tragedy. So you kind of feel bad picking on bands where half of them died, right? But their catalog, it just doesn't do it for me. I think they're overrated. Okay, this is the one where people will want to fight me in the parking lot, but I just have to say it. Metallica. They're overrated. I think they came along at an important time, and I think they played an important role. They kind of helped clear out a lot of the bad hair metal. Obviously, they weren't grunge, but they were a real back to basics. They came at a good time, and I appreciate that. But you know, I'm not a fan of Hetfield's vocals, and of course, that brought on a whole other style of vocalists that came. There was no more any catchy vocals. You know, I'm a fan of melodic rock, so I loved vocal hooks. You know, whether it's from Van Halen. Van Halen had great vocals, guys. And a lot of the hair metal had great catchy vocals. All of a sudden, Metallica comes in. That sense of harmony was gone, and I missed that. And I just do not think Metallica deserves the accolades that they have gotten. I'm just not a big fan. I don't hate them. In fact, as a band, I dig them. I like them as people. I just, as a band, they're overrated. Sorry. Can we still be friends? I don't know. That might be a showstopper for some of you. Coming in next, and this is easy. This is easy to pick on them now, but I felt this way even 10 years ago, before they became the fodder of so much jokery, right? And I'm talking about Motley Crue. Motley Crue, way overrated. Of the LA bands of that hair metal era, I think they were the worst. Okay, I think Rat was much better. I think Dokken was better. I think Poison was better. A lot of those LA bands were better than Motley Crue, talent-wise, vocal-wise, guitar playing-wise. They just weren't that good. They were kind of like Kiss, right? They had a show, they had a shtick kind of that caught on for a while. but they had two good albums. Overrated. Okay, now here's okay. If you don't want to punch me over Metallica or Motley Crue, you may want to punch me over this. The Doors. Can we talk about the Doors? Riders on the Storm. Awesome song. I could do without everything else in their catalog. They are just, it hasn't aged well. A lot of it is it hasn't aged well. Okay. I hate the organ tone. I hate the loungy delivery of Jim Morrison. They're just way, way overrated. Not a fan. That brings me to two more. Oh gosh. As I'm recording this, I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I shouldn't maybe me swallowing a fly at the very beginning, I should have taken as an omen. Maybe this wasn't a good idea, but I'm going to talk about it. Okay. Coming in at number 2 of the top 10 overrated bands. Sit down. Are you sitting down? Nirvana. Yeah. Way overrated. The Foo Fighters are way better than Nirvana ever was. And I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan. I like Dave Grohl, not a huge Foo Fighters fan, but they're so much better than Nirvana ever was. Nirvana, completely overrated. They were lucky. Their album came at a good time. But yeah, just not good. And of course, again, when an artist dies, we had this with the Doors, we had it with Kurt Cobain, that tends to magnify their impact. Tragedies, both of these gentlemen died. One of a drug overdose, one took his own life. Tragedy. But when that happens, the impact tends to get exaggerated a little bit, in my opinion. Had Kurt Cobain or Jim Morrison not died, would they be held up as the legacy performers that they are? Maybe they would have been. I don't think so. I don't think so in the case of Nirvana. So coming in at number 2 on the top 10 overrated rock bands is Nirvana. Number 1, and I'm not apologizing for this. I don't get it. I do not understand the success of this band. I don't understand why they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the first year they were eligible, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, while bands like Styx are still waiting, Kansas, Boston. These guys go in the first year they're eligible, coming in at number 1 on the top 10 most overrated rock bands of all time, Green Day. Every high school in the US and probably in the UK has a garage band at least as good as Green Day. And they're not bad. They're a great garage band. They sound just like my band sounded when I was a junior in high school. Not bad. Definitely not deserving of the accolades they've gotten. Let's just say this. They're the luckiest band in the history of music. There's nothing special about them. I play in a dad band. We play a couple Green Day songs. The nice thing about Green Day songs now, if, to their credit, they have a few catchy songs, right? They have a few catchy 3-chord songs, as do most garage bands have a few catchy songs that when you hear, you go, oh, that's not a bad song. Well, same with Green Day. So they're the luckiest band in the history of the world and the most overrated band in the history of the world. Hopefully we can still be friends, but I had to get that off my chest. The top 10 most overrated bands in the history of rock. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.